A lot of people think a 2500 HD truck solves towing. It doesn't. This setup does. I'm Dean Bleasner, the co-founder of Big Dog Builds, with well over 750 trucks through our workshop. It's builds like this one here. The HD truck, they can tow straight out of the showroom floor, but with a few essential mods, in a build like this one here, it's going to tow like nothing else. It's going to be comfortable, compliant, charge your caravan while you're towing, and it's going to get you to all the places you want to go. Speaking of places you want to go, if you're located interstate and you're looking at getting a build done here at Big Dog Builds, we can help transport the vehicle into the workshop, get a full build done. Once that build's done, fly in, get a handover with the team. We'll show you everything that has been done on the vehicle, how to use all the extras that you get, and then drive the vehicle home. Stay local for a few days if it's a big build, but if that's still too hard, we can help get the vehicle back home again. Now you may be thinking, a HD truck, it's going to be perfect, ready to go. Honestly, you can buy one from a showroom floor, throw a caravan on the back, and it's going to get you to your destination a whole lot safer and a whole lot more compliant than pretty much any other domestic ute on the market. If you're towing 4.5 tons, nothing tows like a HD truck. And yes, this one will do it, but it won't have Anderson plugs to charge up the caravan while you're driving. And from everyone that I hear towing straight from the showroom floor, that big HD truck can porpoise a little bit. What does porpoise mean? It's the front of the vehicle and the rear of the vehicle bouncing up and down a little bit. With the extended wheelbase on these HD truck, and then the tow bar assembly being another couple meters behind that one there, the downwards weight of the tow ball bouncing up and down will affect the vehicle a little bit more than you'd consider being such a big vehicle. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just that little bit of porpoising, which does get a little bit annoying at the end. And doing an essentials build just like this one here will make the vehicle drive like nothing else. Adding some Anderson plugs to the rear end, which we'll get into in a second, will make sure that the van stays nice and charged while you're driving as well. And adding a little bit of front end protection is going to give you better lights while you're driving and that little bit more peace of mind while hitting those rural stretches if you still are towing into the night time. Now, starting at the front end of the vehicle here, we'll get into the front bar combo, we'll get into the rear of the vehicle itself and talk about what these modifications done. We'll start up the front end with the front bar, we'll get to the rear with the tow bar assembly and talk about what these upgrades are going to do and how much better the vehicle is going to be at the end of it. A Lakeshore Blue looks amazing no matter what time of day. As the sun settles, the sun's popping it, looks amazing. I just love this color, the sparkle that comes in it. With the color-coded flares now color-coded the same color as the vehicle itself, that metallic really pops and it looks quite amazing. With that wheel and tire combination that is that little bit wider offset, we've got an 18x9 -12 KMC impact wheel here. Being a -12 means that it is going a little bit further away from the vehicle. Adding the color-coded flares with the kickback mud flaps is going to stop a lot of that muck flicking up the side of the vehicle. The wheel and tire combination on this one here is a KMC Impact -12, 18x9 -12. We've wrapped that with a Nitto Ridge Grappler, 35, 12.5, 18. This wheel and tire combo is one of my favorite through the workshop. Whether you're going the black wheel from these KMC Impacts, it just ties in really nicely to all the other colors on the Lakeshore Blue in the HD truck here from GMSV. These HD truck, the 6.6 litre with the 10 speed tows amazing straight off the showroom floor. 18 is only going up slightly taller than the factory tires, but it has got a lot more width to that tire and airing down, hitting different road surfaces, not having to run the big 65 PSI like the factory tires means that this combination is going to drive a whole lot better. It's not just about the wheel and tires though. The factory wheels and tires are going to do the job, but if you're wanting to hit beaches, corrugations, push it that little bit further, I find that running 65 PSI in the factory tires on the 20-inch wheel, you feel every single little bump on the road, the cat's eyes and other little bits and pieces on the road surfaces. Having a smaller 18-inch wheel with a larger sidewall tire like this Nitto Ridge Grappler, the comfort out of that wheel and tire combination is a whole lot better than the factory ones, but it doesn't just end there. You can't just add a set of wheels and tires and get the best tow performance. You need to then do something to the suspension. The factory suspension, again, could last years. You don't really need to do anything, but if you do want that little bit of extra comfort, the BDS 3-inch suspension kit, in my opinion, is one of the most comfortable kits for the Chevy 2500 HDs. You've got adjustability, both low speed and high speed in the Fox 2.5 remote resers. The upper control arms from BDS, the torsion keys underneath the vehicle itself means that you can adjust this one anywhere from 1.5-inch lift up to 3-inch. We set it around the 2.5-inch mark, and that seems to be the sweet spot for 35 35-inch wheels and tires. And again, depending on what sort of fitment you want, we can go away with the flares. We can add these ones here. We can go a whole different range of wheel and tire combinations to suit your needs and your look, as well as your budget as well. You don't have to break the bank doing a package like this one here. Getting the vehicle from Chevy is one thing. It's a massive achievement. These things look amazing, they tow amazing, and they're actually very, very efficient on fuel, comparing it to some of the smaller vehicles that can still tow that 4.5 ton. The front end of the vehicle, again, the factory bumper is quite solid, but if you're wanting that little bit of extra oomph, the ADD Phantom bar with some spotlights on the front end is going to give you a whole lot more range of light out the front of the vehicle. Having a winch in the models as well. You don't have to run the winch, but all of the bars that we offer are winch compatible. And for this one here, we've got the 15K carbon winch, and then we've got the ADD Phantom bar and the Light Force Beast LED spotlights. We've also made the custom license plate flipper here at Big Dog Builds, and as well as the front camera relocation kit for the front end of this one here as well. So adding the camera out the front, this one down here, this package looks amazing. I'll get into the Light Force Beast in a second. We'll talk about the Switch Pro, how this one's set up, how you change the modes in the Beast, and what they're going to offer you in the front end of your package. And what they're going to offer you on the front end of your vehicle, whether you're running 2 like this one here, you might have 3 on top of a hoop, or you might even have 4 straight across the front bar. We've got multiple different lighting setups for different bar combinations, but I'll pop open the bonnet right now. We'll get into this one here, open up the Switch Pro app. I'll show you on my phone how to switch modes to go from spot to flood and then beast mode. With the front end of the vehicle, these Light Force Beast all controlled through the Switch Pro app. We've got the Switch Pro located on our new under-bonnet fuse panel setup with the power panel over to the driver's side. What that means is this vehicle can come back for future stages. It's got everything nice and neat under the bonnet. We've got one main power feed that runs over to a breaker to that whole power panel. The Switch Pro's also got a nice little home over there as well. And then the Switch Pro controller is up above the mirror. Show you that in just a second, but we've also got a phone app, and what we can do there, it'll be a little bit hard to see the daytime run lights because it is quite bright and the sun's hitting the lights themselves, but you can turn on, those ones that got the DRL lights already on them. And because the vehicle is running, I'll also turn high beam trigger on. With the Switch Pro app itself, you can set up all of the lighting outputs to make sure that they meet Australian design rules as well. So forward-facing lights can't come on unless the vehicle activates the lights via high beam switch. So the Switch Pro app is all set up. We can turn on those lights there now, and then I've got the changing mode between the lights. So we've got spot mode up on top, and those ones there are going to shine these lights, give great amount of distance out the front of the light itself. I'll turn it down and that's on a little bit of a spot, but also spread. So that one's going to spread nicely out the side of the vehicle. And then the cool feature with the Light Force lights is I can hold down the momentary switch in the Switch Pro app and turn on beast mode. And that's both of those lights all running. So that's going to use the most amount of power and it's going to light up the sky like it's daytime. So these Light Force Beasts here becoming quite popular. Fair bit of heat coming off those ones. They must use a fair bit of juice, but having the vehicle running with the ignition on, high beam triggered, and then the lights turning on and off, and being able to switch them in between the different modes as well, gives you a lot of flexibility, and then running daytime run lights as well on top of that is pretty damn cool. So the Switch Pro app is quite simple. It's got a lot of spare switches, and as this customer comes back, wants to add things like a roof rack and other accessories, we can easily tap into the Switch Pro and run to those other accessories. Any good tow vehicle also needs a good UHF installed that just keeps you connected to other road users, whether that be an accident on the road and you just stay on the highway channel and don't really use it that often. It can be the difference between getting stuck in a big convoy with an accident up ahead or knowing that there's a serious issue and actually being very, very good, as well as if you run out of fuel in the middle of nowhere, it'll connect you to someone else to help out. So help the guy in the big flash Chevy that's run out of fuel in the middle of the outback. So your caravan may have everything needed to not really need much of a tow vehicle other than being safe, compliant. This one here still being in the NB1 category means that you've still only got that 700 to 800 kilos of payload, and definitely be mindful of how much the ball weight of your caravan, the gear in the back and people inside the vehicle are going to weigh. Being in the NB1 category, in the HD truck is still going to tow very, very nice and safely. It's exactly the same vehicle as the NB2 category, but if you are chasing more kilos for a safer, more compliant ride with a lot of gear in the back, more more people inside the cab, definitely jump up to that NB2 category. For just a couple towing a decent van with everything inside the van, although we've got some pretty cool under-seat power setups which can run fridges in the back full time, set the vehicle up to a canopy spec. This one here is the minimalist approach. Throw a little bit of gear in the back, couple of people inside, and the caravan's gonna have everything. The fridges, all your gear can go in there, pretty much everything, but the tow vehicle is nice and safe. So obviously with the suspension wheel and tyre combo, we've got the color-coded flares up the back end there as well. Got the kickback mud flaps, which look amazing and are gonna stop a lot of those stones flicking up and hitting the van. In the back of this one here, no long range fuel tank, and then we've also just got the manual inflation airbags. So manual inflation airbags, you've just got your 2 Schrader valves, just like pumping up a tire there. Put a little bit of pressure in those bags, see how the vehicle performs, and you'll soon learn how the vehicle tows. If the HD truck's mainly set up to tow the same caravan, having onboard air control could be a little bit of overkill. It is a little bit of a luxury, but having the 2 manual inflation valves at the back there, you're going to know what the trailer's going to tow at most times. Putting 20 PSI or whatever it may be in those airbags just to help firm up that rear end and stop a little bit of porpoising between the vehicle and the van as well. You've got a Torsion hitch from Jenny Hitch on the back end here as well, and that's got plenty of different modes. You've got 70mm ball, 50mm ball, DO45 on the back there as well. So this one is definitely set up in a minimalist approach, but a whole lot better than how it comes off the showroom floor. You don't have to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars and just to put cup holders inside these things. They already come very, very luxurious inside the cab. Just adding that Switch Pro controller gives you the ability to switch all of those lights on and come back for stage 2 with the under-bonnet fuse panel setup. The minimalist approach at the rear end there with the manual inflation airbags, the tow bar wiring and the hitch. And this vehicle is ready to tow. The Chevy 2500 NB1 tow horse. Lakeshore Blue, it's growing on me every single time that I see it. We've done a couple GMSV HD concept trucks. Now seeing them roll through the workshop in more numbers. I love it. What's your favorite color Chevy? I'm keen to know in the comments below. And if you like this video, guys, check these 2 out here. And to see 2 big beasts, these ones here are ones to watch as well.